Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy South Central. Today, we are reviewing Louder with Crowder, man. He's getting out in the streets. He's talking to people. And I think this is good. He's getting to it. I like Louder with Crowder because he exposes the truth, man. I've been watching Louder with Crowder for at least like 5 years, man. And he's very interesting. He's very funny. And he tells the truth. Although a lot of things are cringy, but it depends on who you are. It's not cringy to me, but I could see how it could be cringy to other people. But I like Louder Crowder because he tells the truth and he's funny. Okay, he's actually fucking funny. This is the way to counteract fake news. All right, the media, the mainstream media. Majority of people don't follow politics. Majority of people just want to live life and be a regular citizen. But there's so much propaganda in this country, it will make you think that a lot of people hate each other. Okay, black people hate white people hate black people. But the only way to counteract that is getting out there and asking questions and seeing if this is actually true. And the question is, are white people too fragile? Let's get into it.
Smooth sailing. If you talk to enough people, you will eventually find an outlier, and this was an outlier, which took place in our final interview of the day. Now, without spoiling too much, see if you can tell how this particular conversation went differently.
Are the reasons we would still be slaves if it was for you, baby?
Ask you, where would you put, or how would you categorize race relations between black and white people in the United States today?
I think I
want to start off by saying that's a great question. It's a great way to enter these type of conversations, because where do we start? If everyone is so scared to talk to each other and so repulsed by each other due to what we see in the media, we will never get this type of conversation from each other.
A media standpoint division.
Right.
I think that's where we are. I think that there is division. I do. I think there's definitely some microaggressions and things like that are apparent. But on my everyday interacting, I think it's an array of things. I think there's some positivity. There's some growth opportunities. I think I have within my circle. Mm-hmm. It's diverse.
Yeah.
And I love that it's diverse, but I also think that we're not having those conversations within my diverse community.
So when you say diverse, do you mean racially? Do you mean ideologically, politically?
Politically and racially.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have white, black, Republican, Democrat, and all in your circle of friends?
Yes, I have pretty much everything.
I like to say that's a good panel of people to get a broader understanding of what's going on in the world. You don't want to hang around people who ultimately just think like you, okay? That's an echo chamber. You want to hear what other people have to say. But there is a certain thing it's called, too much, all right? Some people are too liberal and too out of control to where it's like, okay, I get where you're going, but not everything has to be political. Not everything has to be about race. Not everything has to be about your sex or sexual orientation. Let's get back into it.
Has kind of helped you. I think learning from different people helps you grow. What would you say has helped you grow more? Having people of different races in your circle of friends, or people of different ideologies, people from different walks of life?
I think walks of life.
Yeah.
I think you learn more. I think because I can meet another African-American person who's had a different upbringing than I do, and I'm learning what their struggle looks like versus my struggle, because it's very different. Mm-hmm. I think it's really truly about being open.
Yeah.
Open to listening, open to learning, and having the conversations.
So you're saying that in your day-to-day, your experiences have been good, probably because of your circle of friends. Mm-hmm. Compared to the media, it sounds like you're saying there is some division out there, but not so much in your circle of friends.
Not within my circle of friends, because I choose them, right?
Right.
So this is my choice. It's my choose to have people in.
So is it actually a diverse panel, right? Is it actually an open panel to where these people are just free thinkers and they come, they all have different walks of life, different thought processes? To me, if you are very liberal, I would think that it's very hard for you to be around a conservative person. You could tolerate it to where you probably would deal with certain people, but they won't be in your friend group. So I understand what she's saying, but it's really hard for me to see it. I'm not gonna hang around a super liberal person and say, you know, I'm friends with this person, unless they're probably my family member. But if they sitting here saying stupid stuff like, I don't know what bathroom to use.
In my circle that I don't have to fight with all the time, that we are open and we learn from one another. But I take a look at where we are in their schools. They go to private schools.
Okay.
So there's complete division with racial divide, seeing our black boys in the private school arena get in trouble where the white boys don't get in trouble for the same offense. I see that every day.
Why don't you just take them out of private schools?
Because at the end of the day, it's a better education.
Now, I get that it's a better education, but if you in danger and you hate racism and you're seeing something that's unfair, why wouldn't you move the child or remove yourself from that situation? This is what I don't get about liberal people. It even goes so far as this country. They hate this country and they said that this country's racist and bad things are happening and the walls are closing in on them, that they're not willing to leave. What I see on the border is people dying to come in, but the people that hate this country so much are not dying to leave. But they say that they're in so much danger. And this is the situation here. If you want me to believe that people are racist and that they're after you and that and you see some unfairness happening in this certain program, and you have the power as far as the finances to remove yourself from this situation, why don't you? This is why it's very hard for other people on the outside to believe what you're saying, and this is happening more than often. So it's very confusing to people that's trying to hear you out and give you the benefit of the doubt, but you can't keep saying things without any action. That means you might like this shit, or you might be lying, or it does fit your narrative that you're trying to paint.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
Because that's got to be tough then if you have to choose. What kind of things
It
do they
is.
get into trouble for that white kids wouldn't? Like, what do you?
A fist fight. I brought it up last year. If you see two black kids in a fist fight, they'll probably get suspended. You see two white kids in a fist fight, which rarely happens in private school, then it's a pat on the back.
In my honest opinion, you shouldn't be fighting in no goddamn school anyway. If majority of the time people are fighting and they happen to be black, yeah, you're gonna see them get punished way more. But if it rarely ever happens, then there's your answer. You're not going to see that all the time. If it's always black people fighting, you're going to see the punishments happen majority of the time.
I don't know. I can't tell if you're joking or if you're serious. Is it rare, like white kids get into a fight in a private school, or are you saying they get in just as many fights?
No, fight in general at private school is very rare.
Okay, in general.
Yeah.
Whether white or black.
Whether whatever race it is.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah. I was raised in Canada where we had a zero tolerance policy, so it didn't matter if you defended yourself or you started the fight, you were all suspended, which I think is morally reprehensible.
I think
I was suspended because I got punched in the face.
well, that's not good. No, because you were defending yourself.
Yeah, I didn't. Well, I didn't really. I mostly just turtled.
But do you see where he's getting with this? Basically saying that he had those same experiences as a white man, and she said, "Oh, that's not fair." Okay, but he's literally breaking down that idea that you have that white people don't go through this. No, if there's a no violence, if there's no tolerance inside that school, most of the time those people are going to get in trouble for even having a fight or being indulging in some type of violence. Also, you will probably want to ask, like, hey, did you amplify the situation? Did you do what you can to prevent that problem, or did you talk a lot of crap and bad stuff happen? You know what I'm saying? It could be a multivariate situation, we don't know, but I mean, if he just got suspended for blocking, that's kind of annoying. But it goes to show that certain schools just don't tolerate it. It has nothing to do with your skin color. Just certain schools don't tolerate it. Let's get back into it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna need you to defend next time.
So we pushing for violence now? Come on, man. What the heck?
I learned that later on. But see, at that point, I was a little bitch is what I was. I didn't know. I was afraid. The kid was 2 years older than me.
Oh, well, that's not good.
14 to 16.
Yeah,
it's
not
a
good.
huge difference. You're not going to do anything. You just turtle.
And just maturity, body, you're just The whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing.
The whole thing. Yeah.
Oh, it was a terrible experience.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good example. We weren't teaching kids that, hey, not all violence is equivalent. Like if someone attacks you, you're saying this as a mom, you would probably want your kids to defend themselves.
To defend. Yeah, of course I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why it says there's a legal defense for defending yourself.
No, absolutely right. You mentioned microaggressions. So you're the first person today who's mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
Hearing that, it makes me already believe that this person is a woke person. Because microaggressions, you hear that from the woke mob. She might not be, but just the way she already came up with these words is like, all right, man, here we go with this. But it's good that he's trying to understand what she's saying and trying to break down her statements that she made. So it's pretty cool, man.
What do you mean by that?
Microaggressions, meaning they say little things, they, meaning non-people of color, will say little things not realizing that it's a microaggression, not realizing that it's hurtful, that it's racism, because it's so micro.
So like what would be an example of that?
My hair. Oh my God, can I touch your hair? Oh my God, is that real? Things of that nature. Or
what I would say is that they demonize white people so much that something as innocent as being curious could be racist. I don't think that's a microaggression. I think that a person could truly be curious because they probably are not around black people, right? They don't live around black people. Me being from South Central, I have never really been around white people. So when I seen a white person actually got to be friends with them, it's kind of weird. Like, damn, I seen y'all on TV. Are you rich or something? Like, do you have a dad at home? Would that be like racist? Would that be a microaggression? Or is that just me curious, not knowing that some white people do live in poverty and not all of them have fathers? But when it comes to a white person, you automatically think that's a microaggression and it's something rooted in racism. And that's sad. What I believe is that if you think the world is racist, you could find anything racist. It depends on perception. And if you live in a world where everything tell you that everything is racist, everything a white person says is racist, and you truly believe that, you're doing yourself a disservice. Stop believing what the media tells you and try to see a person for who they is. I'm not saying that every person that says, hey, is your hair real, that they racist or they not racist. What I'm saying is that judge a person by their character. Stop judging them by skin color, because it's very unfair. And it's unfair for white people to do it to us. If they say that, hey man, you're a black person, you are naturally violent, you're a super predator, okay? That's very racist to me. That's fucked up. You're not even giving me a chance. And I can say that there are some black folks that are very violent, and there are some white people that's very violent as well. It depends what they grew up around, okay? Some white people grew up in trailer parks, fighting, catching fades, fighting. Yeah, it happens. But it's very unfair for you to judge people just because of what you're told or what you truly believe in your own preconceived notions. Judge a person by their character. That's the only way you'll get through this mindset.
it's just, Carrington, you want to give me some microaggressions?
Grifters not real.
I love how it's like they study this in order to prove a point. She couldn't find so much where she had to ask her friend about that. And it goes to show that she hangs with people that talk about stuff like this. So of course these are the conversations that they have. So mind you, hanging around people who think like this, you're trapped in an echo chamber. You value things that doesn't matter. Because if you're looking for microaggressions, for little small things to prove that somebody is racist, everybody is racist. And it's based on your perception. And I don't understand how they can live their life like that. But that's on them. And I would say that people that are watching this, black people that are watching this, white people that are watching this, what you can learn from this is this. If you're looking for racism, or you're looking for a problem, if you're looking to stamp a race of people based on your own preconceived notions, it's very easy, because you're going to always find a black person that does violent shit. You're always going to find a white person that do violent shit. You're always going to find a white person that might be racist. You're always going to find a black person that might be racist and rob you and all that. You're going to find that. You have to have the discernment, right, and the lack of ignorance to understand that that's just that person. Not every person is like this.
So articulate, you're sort of thinking so well, even though I'm just using basic English. Because they assume I'm going to be using AAVE But yeah, it's just things like that. But little things. I remember in 6th grade, somebody said my hair looked like spaghetti hair because I had twist. And I don't know what y'all, look it up. Look up twist. I had like round twisted, and they said my hair looked like
You were in 6th grade though. Like, kids make jokes. Kids are innocent. Kids do things, okay? But when you grow up shielded in pillows, and you're looking for racism, and nobody supposed to say nothing to you, this is very hurtful to a person because it still bothers this person. I truly believe it's the way you view life, okay? The way you handle things in life. Because you could look at it as, these kids were just joking. These kids are being kids, okay? They're being disruptive. They're asking stupid questions, of course. All right? You could say that. Or you could say these kids are racist. They hate me. They don't understand anything about my culture. Kids are ignorant, okay? That might be the first experience that they have about when it came to your hair looking like that. But it's the way you perceive something. You can absolutely overread things and make it deeper than what it truly was. And I think that's what the culture is today. You overread things. You're looking for it. You have to stamp this person. You have to catch this person in something. And I understand white people. I wouldn't want to be around a race of people or any people that are looking for a problem. They're looking for something to stamp me as this evil person. I wouldn't want to be around that either.
spaghetti. And that's a microaggression, right? You don't realize it, but it is hurtful in the long run. It makes you feel othered, and that's not okay.
When I was in high school, I had I had a horrible haircut, and it was cut very short on the sides and top. And I was told that I looked like a retard Patrick Dempsey.
Yikes.
So it wasn't so much a microaggression as a.
That's just aggression.
That's just aggression.
Right, yeah.
But my point is, that happens to everybody. And my question is, I think
They're so black that that's their identity. Instead of being a person, being a human, being black is their identity. So if you say anything that, even about their hair, okay, it has to be rooted in them being black. So you say that because I'm black. No, that's not because my hair looks stupid. It's just because I'm black. Yeah, but I said something about this white person, but that's just an aggression. That's nothing. It's different because I'm black and you're not. It's something deeper than that. When you do things like this is creating division, and you're creating division in your own mind. You're doing this. You're doing this.
maybe it comes down to, is that necessarily racist, or if we just view it through the lens of maybe this is something I'm uncomfortable with, but they're not meaning it to be racist, right? Racism would have to come with intent.
Racism does not have to be intentional.
Racism can be subtle, for sure.
It can be subtle.
There's something called internalized racism because of how society just shows things off, right? A lot of women, a lot of girls, just look at Disney princesses. There's only one black Disney princess, and that's not crazy, but little girls look at their little princesses, right? And they look at all this array of like plenty of white women, right? And they aspire to be that a lot of the times. And I feel like,
Are we basing racism on Disney? You gotta grow up, bro. Like, what the hell's going on? Basing racism on Disney princesses? You got a lot of growing up to do. And like I said before, if you want to see racism in anything, you will.
little things like that, you're internalizing racism even though it's not blatant racism. I think everyone thinks that racism is...
I truly believe that she's messing up her own life because she's making everything in her life about race. If anything happens to her, right, she has a bad encounter with a said white person, it's because she's black. It's because this person has a deep inner something that they can't control. That's a horrible way to look at a person, because humans may make mistakes and people feelings get hurt every fucking day, but that don't mean that everybody's trying to hurt your feelings. The thing is that if you take that this person hates you or is something deep in them that they can't control, you basically saying that white people is just racist. It is racist. Okay, there's nothing they can do about it. It's racist. And that's sad because you don't know this white person. You don't know this person as a person. All you know is what you think you believe. And that could bite you in your butt, because you got to understand not everything is revolved around race. Not everything is revolved around you. Not everything is about racism. Not everything is about sexism. It's like Nowadays, struggle is like a new drug. Nowadays, picking a struggle is a new drug. Everybody is marginalized in some way. Okay, it's because I'm a woman. It's not about race. It's because I'm a woman. If it's not about being a woman, it's because of my sex. If it's not, it's always something in this country that could divide people, and they're using it so much that it's like, bro, it's getting so annoying. Now it's like, how do you know who's racist? Because everybody's racist. This has to be mentally draining. This has to be. It's sad because I would say that black people are taught this. We're taught to believe that you are under attack at every angle. If this person say something about your hair, it's because of in the 1820s this happened. If somebody say something about your actions, it's because of XYZ. If you're a horrible person, they think you're a horrible person because it is. We got to get better as people. We have to get better as people, because just because you black don't mean you're not a terrible person. And I think that most of these people that believe in this are becoming terrible people. They are becoming terrible people, and they're ripping themselves inside out because they don't know how to handle social situations when it comes to interacting with other races. Understand the power of perception.
Go out and hurt people with, but a lot of the time it's just like the way you think. You think white bodies and white people first, and don't necessarily think about people of color in your life, right? It's more so a mindset than blatant, like, hurting people. You know what I mean?
What would be, I guess, are you comfortable talking about
No, you just, at this point, you just too emotional. You're an emotional thinker. And get out your emotions and think logically, because not everybody after you. Not everybody want to attack you. Not everybody hates you. Not everybody care about your skin color. Who are you as a person? If you're a terrible person, don't blame everybody else for you being a terrible person. It's very lazy as a human to do that, because you don't have to work on yourself if everybody else is a problem around you. I would say people work on yourself. Work on yourself. That's the best way to do it.
Because right now the camera's going to be going back and forth. It's going to be going back and forth like a Wes Anderson film. Yeah. So you see, we're not trying to send back. What was your name, by the way?
She's so amazing.
Carrington.
Carrington?
This is what she does. She's so amazing.
Stephen, and Eddie.
Eddie. Yep.
Could you give me some examples there?
That's a red flag. This is what she does. She's so amazing. So you have a person that talks about foolish stuff, and you parade her as if she's doing something great and giving her accolades for this type of mentality. She will always be a victim. This is literally textbook victim mentality, and you're not helping her. I don't know if that's her mom, but she's not helping her.
Wise racism, because let me tell you where white people are nervous. Okay. This is where I think
love to hear that.
Yeah. So in other words, if you're talking about white people being racist, right, toward you, and that's a legitimate concern. Of course, in some places you're going to have individual racists. It's a different conversation from systemic racism, right, or internalized racism, but we all acknowledge that. I will tell you this. The reason that a lot of white people don't have these kinds of conversations like this is because they're afraid of being accused of being... No, they're afraid of being accused of being racist.
Yeah, white fragility.
Well, see, that is an attack to just say white fragility. What if someone, for example, we just interviewed every single black man who we interviewed today, every single one, said, yeah, the Black Lives Matter thing got out of hand. All lives matter. Everyone's lives matter. And I don't think that was good for either community. Every single black man that we interviewed today. And if I were to say that same thing, right, because I don't think the problem is just race, and I think we do have a failed justice system, by the way. I think you'll miss it if you think it's just race. Well, we can't classify that as white fragility or a microaggression.
Okay, so let me define
I
white fragility.
disagree with every white man, every black man you spoke with today. But go ahead,
okay,
Carrington.
Right, but they're entitled to their opinion.
They are.
It surprised me that they said it.
Not every black person's a victim. I don't know what world y'all live in. This is why I told you guys. She probably lives in an echo chamber. The black men and black women mostly don't think like that. They don't. And if they do, most of the time it's easier to think that way because you're lazy. I can blame everybody for my inconsistencies. I can keep blaming people for what I don't want to do. It's the most easiest textbook thing to do. Blame everybody else. We don't believe that every white person is after us and that they hate us. And every time they speak to us, they feel like we're under them. Or they have some deep-rooted hatred that we can't understand. Thinking like that is very dangerous. And you're creating the division that you hate so much. I wish this person could see my content and understand that your perception of life will give you the results that you're looking for. It's not actual racism It's just what you perceive to be racism. The way she's speaking, I will believe that most of the time when she says somebody's racist, it's not true. And you're going to have to get that checked out and stop hanging around people like old lady with the hat, because she going to amplify that, because that's what she likes to hear. This is tea for her. This is great. She knows what she's talking about. She's good at this. She's great. She's a great victim. No, you should not be applauded for that.
Fragility means that I think we're on the same page. You're just defining it as different. So white fragility means when white people are afraid to confront the fact that they might have racism or might have racist thoughts. That's white fragility.
But what if they don't?
They don't. Literally almost everybody in America does, because of the way America works. Even black people have racist thoughts towards black people, right? So it's kind of hard to get out of there unless you're like...
No, it's just you. You think racism. That's why everything is reflecting the way you view things. If you think everything is racist, you must be a racist fucking person.
With white people, it's just easier because they're not black or they're not a person of color. They don't have the system around them necessarily to confront that because they don't have to, right? So it takes more work on their part, right? And there's nothing really necessarily, it's not great, but there's nothing wrong with working more harder to get to a certain point. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
I just want to be clear that I understand, as a white guy, obviously, and I get it. Look, we're coming from different perspectives. You're defining something that you just said would require more work, right?
Yeah.
It would be a form of racism that they may not know, that frankly is something that they were born with, white fragility, through no fault of their own.
Yeah.
What you just outlined is racism.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I mean, no, you saying white fragility, that would be racist toward, like, saying, yeah, you are blamed for something that you were born with. You have white fragility just
so
because
racism,
you're black.
no. Literally everybody has their own form of racial fragility. You know that, right?
So there is black.
No, ladies, speak for yourself. Speak for yourself. Black people, don't speak for we not doing that. All right? We not doing that. If you gonna make everything about race, speak for yourself. We not doing that over here. We holding ourselves accountable and we holding other people accountable. All right? And that's it for the video for today, guys. Man, I'm gonna do part 2 tomorrow. All right, I really love his content. I like reviewing his content, and I think this is very important because when you got black people on the other side of the spectrum saying this foolishness, you have to have someone that counteract that. That's the video for today, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think from what you've seen. South Central, we out.
We be really politicking while we whipping in the kitchen. God be my witness. At the age of 15, I was fighting